Hello and welcome everyone to the 5G Factor. I'm Ron Westfall, Research Director here at the Futurum Group, and I'm joined here today by my distinguished colleague, Todd R. Weiss, our team analyst focused on key areas such as communications networks. And today I'm co-hosting our show from Mobile World Congress 23, Las Vegas, where major developments have definitely caught our eye. And so, Todd, welcome back to the 5G Factor, and many thanks for joining the show today. Now, how have you been bearing up between our episodes?
Thanks for having me join again, Ron. All things are good here. We're getting ready for the Phillies playoff run and looking forward to the playoffs starting on Tuesday. We're still waiting to see who we're going to play, and it's very exciting around here in Pennsylvania.
Right on. That makes a lot of sense and sounds good. And in the meantime, Todd, here at the show, I think we definitely saw some major announcements that impact the 5G ecosystem. For instance, Nokia introduced its network as code platform and developer platform that's aimed at enabling developers and the operators to accelerate the work of producing software applications for new enterprise, industrial, and consumer use cases, as well as monetizing 5G, 4G network assets beyond basic connectivity. Now, the commercial availability of this network as code platform starts in December 2023. What about your perspective, Todd? What are you seeing out of this?
Yeah, I think this is a great idea, Ron, and it's one I'm sure will really help developers and CSPs with this incredibly laborious work. Simplify, simplify, simplify. That's really the key.
Well, right on. Yeah, keep it simple. I think that's something that's well understood principle. And now what Nokia is doing is that both the network as code platform and developer portal are aimed at accelerating network programmability and naturally monetization by, again, providing simplified network capabilities to the developers as software code that can be integrated into the applications. Now, I see the move reinforcing Nokia's strategy, powering new business models that can unlock more innovation, including sustainability, collaboration, and productivity improvements. Also, I see the launch as fully aligning with the ushering in of software-based 5G networks, which is a tectonic shift from the hardware-oriented designs of pre-5G networks. And as a result, what Nokia is targeting is broader adoption and integration of APIs and other software tools that take advantage of network programmability by providing that access to immersed functionality and data within the networks themselves. Now, this can play, I believe, an integral role in enabling application developers to swiftly build new capabilities and use cases that accord, with the customer priorities. So, Todd, what impressed you most about the Nokia Network as Code debut?
Well, I really like it. Specifically, I like that the 5G capabilities and use cases include areas such as network slicing, edge cloud, and quality on demand. Again, making these things easier, making these things work better for the CSPs and for developers. Plus, this whole thing has advanced capabilities that Nokia says will not require the uses of 5G networks for device and subscriber status and billing. Now, to me, that's big, because 5G still is not everywhere yet. So they're taking into account that this is something that they're working on. In addition, I expect other advanced capabilities to come, such as policy control, home network prioritization, traffic prediction, and SIM swap, as well as 5G exclusive capabilities like traffic breakout and high accuracy location to gain more traction. Those will happen over time. Across the mobile ecosystem, I see established and emerging use cases within existing and emerging API demand categories. Those include Industry 4.0, transport, logistics, mobility, security and authentication, immersive customer experience, healthcare, and smart buildings. Such use cases, Ron, are fueling the shift, I think, towards use case-based service change that use data processing across edge clouds. This is something that's happening, being enabled nowadays. Okay, other interesting news here is that Nokia and Dish Wireless have agreed to a memorandum of understanding to collaborate on an ecosystem project that can enable enterprises to develop applications using advanced mobile and 5G network capabilities. This is pretty cool. From my view, this partnership can help encourage broader enterprise use and developer support of 5G network programmability features by providing access to software development tools for advanced network traffic controls, quality of service management, and details such as location and device status. Again, Ron, this is all really good stuff. It's the maturitization of this work. I think it's happening, little by little.
Yeah, no, that's I think right on. It's incremental progress, and again, to the Dish Memorandum of Understanding, I think you have a good point, Todd. The Dish MOU accords with Nokia's extensive network as code development work with the CSP community, and right now it includes 5 CSPs that have already onboarded or the process of onboarding, along with 8 CSPs who are expected to join by the end of this year, and it includes up to 30 by the end of 2024. So now Nokia's offering is based on a revenue share model between the CSPs as well as the developers and, of course, Nokia itself. Now, I think it's important to note that Nokia Network as Code platform has been developed in accord with the Linux Foundation Camara project and the GSMA Open Gateway Initiative. So taken together, I think Nokia is demonstrating the broad ecosystem support that is key to making network programmability and API-driven innovation that is going to be integral to CSP 5G monetization progress. And so that's different. Okay, we've been here before with similar type of initiatives, but I think what Nokia is demonstrating that this time it's different. We have the carriers locked in with support for the network as code platform itself, but it's also underpinned by these standards initiatives. And I think that's going to encourage that broad ecosystem support, particularly from the developer community. So yes, this is something that is important. And what I think is also going to be of note is that there are other announcements that have occurred at the show here that I think are can have tremendous impact. And to start off, Todd, I think we saw that T-Mobile debuted T-Mobile SASE, which is a SIM-based secure access service edge solution that also offers customers a network slice dedicated to SASE traffic. So this is something that's different. Now, the T-Mobile's offering consists of components designed to ease how organizations protect vital corporate data and networks resources from nearly anywhere. And so this is going to be the difference maker. Now, what we've seen to date is that organizations have been relying on software-based options, such as SASE, the initial version, but to better defend their corporate assets from expanding cybersecurity threats. And we all understand this is a huge issue. For instance, 68% of business leaders feel that cybersecurity risks are increasing. And as a result, that's why SASE has become a viable solution approach. It's an architecture, really, to better defend the network and the distributed workforce. That's the important part in today's hybrid workforce. However, there's been a trade-off. The existing software-based SASE only offers protection when the client software is downloaded into devices and configured, creating, quite simply, administrative complexity for IT and security teams, while also, in the process, leaving some devices unguarded, such as routers and IoT hardware. So this is important. Now, what is going to be, I think, a difference maker is that T-Mobile is collaborating with Versa Networks to offer T-SIM Secure, a new SIM-based SASE solution that uses IMSI and IMEI for clientless authentication. So again, Todd, what do you think about this particular move? What is standing out from the T-Mobile SASE offering that just debuted here at the show?
Well, again, Ron, I think this is a smart move by T-Mobile. They're bringing in these kinds of innovations to their customers and to the 5G and CSP ecosystem, which is huge. As we keep talking about, bringing in tools, bringing in processes that make things better, easier, and more secure is critical. There can never be enough mention of network and device security in a world that we know is inherently insecure.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and that's why we see these business leaders with sweat on their brows, and so what I think is the good news is that this offering is available at the end of the year. So this is something that now they can start planning towards, start kicking the tires. But I think what's different is that T-Mobile's hardware-based component approach enables devices that are connected to T-Mobile's network to be automatically authorized through the SIM card. And now, from my view, the offering can streamline workload demands and strengthen security policy control for IT and security teams by decreasing administrative burdens. Plus, the mobile experience can be improved for today's increasingly distributed workforce, including frontline and field service workers, as well as employees working from remote locations such as coffee shops, airports, or the home office, wherever they happen to be. And now, as a result, organizations can integrate their IoT devices and routers into their overall SASE implementation,
Right.
thus avoiding the potential security gap nightmares that we touched on. Plus, I think it's important to note that devices without a T-Mobile SIM can still download and set up the SASE device client regardless of the Wi-Fi network or carrier network they're on. And so, Todd, from your view, what else jumped out about this announcement?
Well, that, Ron, I think is a groundbreaking idea from T-Mobile. T-Mobile SASE delivers 2 additional security capabilities that I think are integral to the implementation of a comprehensive SASE architecture. First, something they call private access protects business applications and data on the corporate network using a ZTNA-based approach to VPN that provides devices with secure, direct, least privileged access that ensures only authorized employees have access to organizational data and applications, regardless of where they are. Then there is secure internet access, which is developed to protect internet-connected devices from threats such as malware, viruses, and ransomware through features like web filtering, protection for SaaS applications, and advanced IT network security. And on top of all that, T-Mobile offers T-Mobile Security Slice. This is part of its SASE solution too. I see T-Mobile establishing swift differentiation for its network slice capability through time-to-market advantages over its top-tier carrier rivals. Part of this is T-Mobile can utilize its nationwide 5G standalone network to use 5G SA-enabled devices that provide improved latency and enhanced mobile broadband speeds that compare favorably to Wi-Fi, LTE, and 5G non-standalone with built-in security and safeguards. I think this is all really important stuff. Oh, and I also see the new T-Mobile SASE product aligning fully with the rapid growth of the overall SASE market. Specifically, SASE adoption, do you realize, increased by 33% in 2022? It's definitely growing. And the market is expected to generate $9 billion in revenue by the end of this year, 2023. I think this provides T-Mobile with a high upside market opportunity to diversify and expand its revenues, taking advantage of its built-in nationwide 5G SA network capabilities.
Well, right on, Todd. I think those are things that will be difference makers. And I think on top of the T-Mobile SASE announcement, we saw another, I think, bold announcement coming out at the show. Specifically, that Ericsson is looking to take leadership in industrializing Open RAN. And so the question is, how can they do that? Since we've been hearing about Open RAN for a few years now, and that market is actually in place, but it hasn't really taken off dramatically as originally anticipated. So what is different here is that Ericsson is introducing support for open front haul access across its cloud RAN and radio portfolios starting in 2024. And so what's important to note here is that there's more than 1 million Ericsson radios in the field and are hardware prepared for open front haul. So what is happening is that Ericsson seeks to drive the industry in all 3 areas of Open RAN architectures. That includes cloudification, open management with automation, and then naturally open front haul itself.
Right.
Now, to demonstrate his commitment, Ericsson and Telefonica signed, you guessed it, a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, for Cloud RAN evolution based on Open RAN architecture. And Todd, what is, again, standing out about this announcement for you?
Well, I see this as, Ron, just another interesting piece of this puzzle. It's good stuff from Ericsson and Telefonica here. These are finding ways of making Open RAN finally come to the forefront and become part of the marketplace in use, which is what it's been trying to do for years. So I think this is really important.
Yeah, no, I think he scored an excellent point there, Todd, because the initial Open RAN market was populated by startups and independent vendors that had a primary focus on it. And as a result, the incumbent RAN vendors such as Ericsson, Nokia, Huawei, and so forth didn't immediately jump in. They had existing customer bases to defend, and also Open RAN quite simply wasn't proven yet. Now it's been making steady progress, and I think the difference maker isn't so much the competitive threats, from alternative providers, such as Mavenir or Rakuten and so forth.
Right.
It's really the fact that the service providers themselves who form the ORAN Alliance, as well as government agencies who are financing
Yeah.
Open RAN initiatives, are making that difference.
Yeah.
And as a result, I see that the biggest shift in future mobile networks is towards cloud-based open networks that are going to leverage the value of 5G networks through exposure of new functionalities and, again, our friend APIs. And as such, I anticipate that Ericsson Telefonica's collaboration can bring out the benefits of cloud-native networks built on ORAN standardized interfaces, again, with the industry scale, the high performance and cost-efficient cloud RAN that's going to be essential for this market to really take off. Plus, by leveraging existing 5G infrastructure as a foundation, the collaboration aims to accelerate RAN evolution as both companies agree to jointly test, deploy, and evolve the open cloud RAN technology with trial deployments in Europe, naturally. And so, Todd, what are your expectations from this announcement? Again, this is all 2024 plus, but what are your expectations?
Yeah, Ron, here I applaud Ericsson's vision that future networks need to be increasingly resilient, open, sustainable, and intelligent. Open RAN plays an important role in achieving this vision, and Ericsson is leading the industrialization of the three pillars of Open RAN, all of them: cloudification, open front haul, and open management for network programmability. They're really taking the lead here.
I agree. And in a disaggregated environment, the end-to-end system performance, the automation using AI, we had to get that word in at least once, software extensions and continuous development are really key for the high performance. And I can anticipate that with Ericsson Intelligent Automation Platform, or EIAP, Ericsson can enable, again, that multi-vendor network management, improve the network performance, and enhance customer experience while enabling those extensive RAN programmabilities to deliver those operational savings that all of the operators covet and certainly prioritize. Also, with the EIAP platform, this can offer industrial scale automation for Cloud RAN for, again, those purpose-built multi-vendor radio access networks that are pretty much common throughout all networks in the world, at least amongst the top tier operators. And as such, it includes, the software development kit, the SDK, that can empower innovation across the industry. That is, again, what we talked about earlier, the service providers, the third-party software vendors, and network providers coming together. And, this is, I think, very important. And Todd, do you have any additional thoughts on, the whole Open RAN play and Ericsson's role and what it can mean for the industry?
No, I think that we really have a good topic here. This is something that I think we'll be able to follow for quite a while. There's a lot going on. And like you said, Open RAN has been something that's been the talk of the industry for several years. And now it's finally getting to the point where it's not just people coming up with the rules and regulations and the specifications, but now we're seeing it actually come to fruition. So I think that makes it a really interesting piece of, more options for CSPs, developers, for the industry. I think it's a really exciting time to be in this area.
Yeah, right on, Todd. And I think Open RAN is really the beachhead for an overall open 5G ecosystem. So by implementing Open RAN, now the ecosystem, including of course the operators and the application developers, can now have more latitude, more runway to basically enable a true end-to-end open 5G implementations. And that's not there today, but it's something that we're trending toward. And announcements like this, I think, are demonstrating that there are real tangible progress points that we can look at as to why this is something that's going to happen, and we can basically place our bets on that. And again, Todd, on that high note, thank you for joining today's 5G Factor.
Well, thank you. It was great being here, and I am enjoying talking to you about these things. It's been a great pleasure.
Right on. And again, thank you everyone for joining. To our viewing audience and our listening audience, as always, thank you for spending time with us, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. With that, good 5G day, everyone.
You too.